Mr. President, Russia is disappointed with the Panamanian presidency. It ignored requests from most Security Council members, including Moscow, to meet immediately. Instead, it delayed, despite extremely dangerous developments in the occupied Palestinian territories. The danger stems from Israel's announced escalation in Gaza, moving toward full military occupation. We thank UN Assistant Secretary General Miroslav Jench and Geneva Humanitarian Chief Ramesh Ressenham for their reports. Recently, the world heard shocking news. Prime Minister Netanyahu's cabinet has decided to send troops into Gaza. Their aim, they say, is to crush Hamas and take full control of the territory. This is a gross violation of international law. It ignores the calls of the global community and the decisions of this council. It threatens the already fragile prospect of a two-state solution. We strongly condemn Israel's plan to seize Gaza. We join calls on West Jerusalem to abandon such dangerous steps. Israel must comply with international law and UN resolutions. The July 19, 2024 UN Advisory Opinion demands an end to occupation of Palestinian land. Israel's plan openly admits its intent to occupy Gaza. After the 2005 disengagement, Israel claimed the occupation had ended. But in reality, it kept control over Gaza's borders, airspace, and sea. Now it is intensifying that occupation. International humanitarian law, including the Fourth Geneva Convention, obliges an occupier to protect civilians, not starve them. Just days ago, this council discussed Israeli hostages in Gaza. Most members said their release required an immediate, unconditional ceasefire. Thanks to diplomacy and pauses in fighting, over 140 hostages have been freed in the past. But West Jerusalem ignored the calls of the global majority. It ignored even the pleas of the hostages' families. Instead of negotiating, Israel has escalated violence. This endangers the lives of its own hostages, already facing food and water shortages in Gaza. The Israeli Justice Minister, who spoke here on August 5th about compassion for the hostages, already knew the cabinet would decide on military escalation, undermining their return alive. It seems his aim was to build a false image of solidarity, only to continue killing Palestinians. It is senseless to manipulate this council for internal Israeli politics. It is equally senseless that a people who survived the Holocaust can now impose ghetto-like conditions on Palestinians and seek their destruction. History is forgotten so quickly. If Israel clears Gaza by force, the humanitarian crisis will deepen. It will trigger mass displacement, new civilian suffering, and more deaths. We have no reason to trust Israeli claims that civilians will be cared for outside combat zones. Israel's food distribution methods are inhumane and deadly. The so-called humanitarian fund for Gaza proves this reality. Already, more than 1,500 Palestinians are dead. Plans to forcibly move civilians or use hunger as a weapon can be war crimes or crimes against humanity. They may also meet the definition of genocide under the 1948 Convention, which Israel ratified in 1950. Netanyahu recently told U.S. media he wants a new administration in Gaza, one that is not Palestinian. This violates the global consensus that Gaza is part of a future Palestinian state. We must ask, what future is possible under occupation? What can families who have lost more than 60,000 people possibly say? How many more must die before this massacre ends? And how many more will be blocked by those shielding Israel from council action? Russia supports a diplomatic settlement based on 2 states for 2 peoples. This must address Israel's legitimate security concerns and Palestinians' right to statehood. The alternative is mass death, including the Israeli hostages still held after nearly 2 years. The Security Council must not allow this scenario. We hope Washington will soon understand this. But for now, the United States, despite its words, has given West Jerusalem a free hand in Gaza.